Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 32 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape,
PlayStation,
Daf Weeks,
Switch,
and Zach Hamilton.
Can't believe you made me say Xbox. It's disgusting.
How
Should have said
dare you.
PC.
How dare you, Dav? How dare you? How you doing, gents?
all good.
Good, man. All good.
how you doing?
Good. Yeah, pretty good. If you are listening to this for the very first time, then hello. We are Video Games Ahoy. And if you know us well, then welcome back. We put these episodes out every Saturday morning, where you can listen to us via the podcast host of your choice. And if you do want to see our delicious faces, then check us out on YouTube, because we're on there too. And stick around to the end, because we'll have a quick chat about the Patreon page and what we offer over there. But to everyone that does contribute, thank you. We
love you.
We're eternally grateful. Yes, we do. We do, Dav. Should we fire our way onto the news?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, shoot out that cannon right onto the news that is PlayStation 5 is the biggest console launch for PlayStation and Sony, I should say. In a tweet posted an hour ago, I say about an hour ago, it was about 3 hours ago that I wrote this, so let's just say about 4 hours ago, on Wednesday, we want to thank gamers everywhere for making the PS5 launch our biggest console launch ever. Demand for PS5s is unprecedented, so we wanted to confirm that more PS5 inventory will be coming to retailers before the end of the year. Please stay in touch with your local retailers. So, Jen, shall I start with my news? Because I'm listener or viewer. Help me out here, okay? Should I be excited about the fact that, according to PlayStation, I have an order that is being processed, as in, like, it's done, apparently? Or should I also be terrified that so many people have had their orders cancelled or stolen on the day that it was originally supposed to come out? I am genuinely torn right now, because there's a part of me that is so excited that I have actually got one, but
Who's stealing them and from where?
well, we'll get onto that now. We'll get onto that in a little bit, but it's genuinely terrifying that, like, not like, in real terms, this is a very first world problem. I'm not terrified, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's just one of those things where, like, that's £500 I don't want to lose or, like, mess around with. But yeah, PlayStation 5s are being stolen, sadly, and a lot of PlayStation 5s were cancelled on the day that people were supposed to get them, which is also really. That kind of sucks. I feel sorry for those people, and I'm really worried that it might happen to me as well. But yeah, let's get into the stealing part, because this is. So when I've been speaking to you guys during the week about this. I've mentioned it a couple of times because obviously it's something I'm worried about. But I don't think I've ever seen so many people mention they've had their PS5 stolen. Like, not just like normal people, like actual genuine video game reporters. Do you know Gerard Khalil from The Completionist on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
I know The Completionist.
He also has had his PS5 stolen.
Jesus.
Wow.
There's so many people that I've seen online have just had them stolen from, like, the number of different companies. But I'm just going to read this out. So this is just for the UK, but I know in America it's a problem as well. But multiple UK-based Amazon customers have claimed that their PlayStation 5 consoles did not arrive on Thursday, despite being marked as delivered by couriers. Some consumers, including freelance journalist Bex April May, have even reported receiving erroneous items in place of their PS5 consoles, or only empty boxes. May claimed in a tweet on Thursday that Amazon had marked her PS5 order as missed at around midday, despite no delivery attempt having been made. Later, a package arrived containing an air fryer she did not order. Several other Twitter... Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen people with cat food as well, but several other Twitter users have replied to May's tweet and shared similar stories, including one user who received a coffee machine, another who received a foot massager, a Resetera user who claimed to have... Is it Reset Era or Resetera? I guess Reset Era.
It's pronounced Resetera, but the point is it was a Reset Era.
Yeah, the Reset Era,
The previous website was corrupt.
There we are. Who claimed to have received cat food. One common allegation is that delivery drivers arrived at addresses, marked their packages as delivered, and departed without exiting their vehicles. I guess, Dav Weeks, we actually spoke about this earlier. You actually do deliver, like, not PS5s, you deliver cat food. But at the same time, you still deliver. You still have been delivering stuff. Is it, like, is it easy to do that? Like, what are your thoughts on this?
Right. So to clarify, I'm with Amazon Flex.
Yes, he's also not stealing PS5s.
And I am
the
not
four
stealing
you can see behind him.
PS5s.
It just
Yeah.
Food.
yeah.
Cat food
No,
and Vangelis.
yeah. So Amazon Flex for me is basically it's like the Uber Eats Deliveroo for Amazon. You know, you just sign in on an app and then you do a round. I've not picked up a PS5, but that's mainly because I haven't worked since it's been released, and most of the big main deliveries go through like people who are full-time Amazon couriers, apart from unlike us. But theoretically, there's really not much in it. You know, I mean, I've had packages like on the app say, oh, this has gone missing. And I'm like, what? Like, either, I don't know, have I gone to the wrong door or something? Have I left it in a place that I thought was safe and someone pinched it? And also, by the way, I've never chucked a package over a back wall.
Oh, right.
Okay, I've never done that.
I'm stopping you just there. Literally just there. This actually happened to me last week. I bought my nephew's Christmas present, and on Amazon, they said that it was handed to the person in the house. I rang my brother saying, "Oh, you've got the package." He was like, "What package?" I was like, the blocks for my nephew who's one, like just a little box of blocks. I said, "No." It's like, "Oh, hang on. Sometimes they throw it over the back garden." He went out, and lo and behold, it was out in the back garden after being thrown over the wall. The fact that they'd even said they'd handed it to someone in the house is even worse. Yeah. But sorry, I can't believe I actually had that story. What happened to me last week?
It's frustrating, and
it's such a shame
I've never done that.
You're one of the good guys, Dav.
People, exactly, and people in that job, they have such a shit time of it. The amount, often, the amount of packages they have to do and the amount of time they have is impossible. So I completely understand, how difficult it is, but that is so different to stealing someone's PS5 or stealing someone's anything,
I mean, theoretically you absolutely can, so the process, certainly for Amazon Flex anyway, you've got your app and you deliver it and then you just say what's happened to it, and if there's nobody at the front door, it'll say what options are available: safe place, neighbor, whatever. Take a picture as proof, jog on. So you could easily just put it on the doorstep, take picture, and then fucking leg it if you wanted to.
I hope you're not jogging, doing deliveries, carrying on under your arms.
Yeah. It's fit Santa.
2 PS5s.
Yeah. Oh god. I mean, it's there's the part of me that's say you have to laugh, but I do genuinely feel sorry for all those people who've been waiting for it as well. Zach, what are you gonna say? You go.
If you're temporary. Temporarily working delivery, right now, which a lot of people are, because it's one of the jobs that's still happening. And a PlayStation's worth anywhere between £500 and £750.
Some people sell them for double that.
Yeah.
So so then they're worth quite a lot of shifts.
Yep.
It's worth easily.
I mean, I don't know how much. I bet I bet the delivery work right now isn't, or in general, probably isn't amazing pay.
Yeah.
And as you say, I think that it does seem like delivery staff are not given the best circumstances or the best pay or anything. So it's kind of I can see it. I can totally see where how you would get how it would happen, especially right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would do maybe when I've got nothing else on 2 or 3 shifts a week, which would be maybe £100. So a £500 PlayStation, that's 5 weeks.
5 weeks work. Yeah.
And if it's a temporary stopgap job that I don't really care about, I'm doing it because I've got nothing else on.
Yeah.
You could easily
you could get fired
so easily.
And what's the worst thing to do? Fire me?
Yeah.
It's not even
and there's no proof.
It's literally worth it.
Yeah, and there's no proof either. That's the thing.
I mean,
as well.
people
no
bloody steal McDonald's when they're Uber drivers.
Yeah.
People steal Uber Eats McDonald's orders.
And Daf Gape and Zach both made a really good point as well about how because I've worked for Amazon. I worked there for 2 weeks, and it is exactly that. You are basically from working at the warehouse. I'm talking about. I've actually worked in the warehouse, and it was horrible. It really, and I have so much sympathy for the people that have to work there. Especially because it's low paid. It's low pay, and they genuinely, I mean this, treat you like a robot. I remember when I was working there, it was something came up on the screen saying you have to do this many products in an hour, or you'll get a speaking to by the manager. And you literally don't have time to think. You're just box, done, box, done, and it just keeps going like that. And you are right. It sucks that people it really sucks that people are losing getting the PS5 stolen. But at the same time, when you look at it from the other perspective, like, yeah, you can see why. I mean, you can see why, especially this time when there's no money. Daf Gape. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, sorry, Dev.
I can't remember what I was going to say, but basically, stealing is bad.
Stealing is bad.
Stealing is bad. PS5 is, for the most part, good.
For the most part. That's a really good point, actually. It's a really good point. But yeah, so let's move away from that onto another topic of PS5s. And the reason why PS5s are so hard to come across is everyone's favorite thing in the world, Scalpers. PS5 stock is borderline impossible to find right now, and consoles are selling for over £1,000, which is $1,500 on eBay, significantly more than Sony's recommended retail price. An interview with Business Insider has shed light on the sordid reseller market, with one British group claiming that its members have purchased 3,500 systems to date. They use bots, but they also use... basically, the way they go around it is they use bots where they can, and if they can't use bots, they'll use real people just getting into the system, and that's just all they'll do. Is they'll get someone to buy it, and then they'll give them the money to buy it, and then they'll just give them a profit. You know, if they're selling it for £500 more, they can give you £200 for your time, and all you've done is sat at home buying a PS5. It's like,
was this happening? Like, was it like this when like PlayStation 1 came out or whatever?
I don't remember. I would say the PlayStation 5 in particular, I don't remember anything being as bad as this. But I
don't get it, because of all the systems, it's probably the one out of all the console generations that has the least new stuff. I'm not, not to criticize it as a console. I still see why people would want it, but the gap between each generation has got smaller and smaller as the years have gone on. You look at the difference between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 compared with PlayStation 4 and 3 and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's not the same. They're not the same. You know what I mean? It seems very strange that they're being...
I think there are just more people playing video games now, so there are more consoles coming out. There's more.
I guess that's always going to be a big factor.
Like there was a massive scalping issue when the Nintendo Wii came out. I remember.
There was.
Was them.
And the same for the 360, I believe, but especially the Wii. I really remember that. But
the Wii was really
scale.
hard.
But I guess the Wii might have sold 100 million over the course of however many years. But the PS4 did. Did it do more?
No. So the Wii sold just over 100 million. The PS3 sold like 81, and the Xbox 360 sold like 80.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because I always think the Xbox 360 sold more than the PS3, but it didn't.
Yeah, well, obviously the Wii is selling a lot of consoles to like grandkids and grandmas.
Yeah.
But I think gaming as a whole is definitely bigger now. You can tell from the revenue numbers.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just a more prevalent issue because there's more to be had, and the consoles cost more.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because, again, it's one of those things where like they're not realistically, they're not doing anything illegal. Realistically, are they? Like, it sucks and it's terrible, but like if this is the system that's set in place where people are allowed to do this, then
bots would be illegal. Would be classed as fraud.
But yeah, that's true. Actually, the bots probably would be illegal. And because I've been trying to read up ways how they would get around this, and it's like I think, like, is it capture stuff like that might be one way around where you've got to do that kind of stuff where bots can't circumvent that. But like, they're still using people. They're still using people to beat the system anyway. So there's still people just waiting to buy it, like us.
But the way that capture is designed is, you know how sometimes you click the box "I'm not a robot" and it doesn't give you any tests.
Yeah.
It retroactively goes back to your most recent actions when online and goes, "Oh, that looks like something a human would do. You're probably a human." So you could easily design a bot to go and try and emulate that. Yeah. Emulate those actions.
Basically, make sure it goes to Pornhub first before it goes to the shopping.
Yeah, like every person. Sometimes I'll go on Pornhub, watch a porno where someone's playing a PS5 and go, "Oh, I'll buy a PS5."
Jeez. Oh well, but yeah, it sucks. Yeah, literally.
Jonny, you bought a PS5.
I'm not telling you how I got mine. I'm just saying that now. But yeah, it does suck, and I think what the one thing I was reading that was, because I think Alana Pierce was one of the people who really pushed this online, just saying that the best thing that people can do, and I know it's hard because kids want them for Christmas presents and parents don't want to let their kids down, that's the pressure that's been put on them, is just don't buy them. I know it's hard and it's frustrating, but don't buy them from Scalpers, because if you don't buy them, then they, as soon as more PlayStation 5s become available, they will lose it. Like, the interest they would have gained will just evaporate because they become less. I get they have less of a unique selling point. Really, like, we have the only ones, not anymore. So, but it still sucks. Anyone else? Does anyone else want to say anything beyond that on Scalpers and how?
I managed to get a pre-order for the Xbox Series S. And what I did was found a friend who wanted it, and then they paid the exact amount needed to get it. If you do get more than one pre-order because you want to hedge your bets and whatever, instead of scalping and like paying more, like getting people to pay you more for it, just find a friend or just cancel the pre-order. Like,
there's always going to be someone who wants it. Like,
absolutely,
it's really not that hard to be a good person. You just have to want to do it.
Be a good guy, Dav.
Be like me.
Actually, you make a really good point about that. And actually, I don't think I've told. I think I might have told you this story. When I actually bought my PS5, I accidentally bought two. So two were being processed at the same time, and I had to ring up Very and be like, "Look, I don't want to. I really don't want to. Please don't send me two, because I could, because the order was so they basically said you can't cancel it. You literally had to ring them up to cancel because of how, like, it could be someone hacking. They just said you can't cancel it. If you want to cancel it, you have to ring them up. So I messaged them, and then they rang me and said, "You want two? If you want two, we can't sell you either of them." And I was like, I don't want the second one. Just don't give it to me. I don't pay for it. I don't want it. Just don't give it to me. And thankfully they cancelled it, and now my order's been processed for Sony. But yeah, I was genuinely worried for a little bit, like, because some stores have actually got in practice saying if anyone buys two, they will cancel them both, and you've got to buy them again. You've got to buy one again. So yeah, that's Scalpers, bad, Dav, good. Let's move on to another good, and that's Phil Spencer. He actually had an interview with The Verge last week where he discussed a range of topics about the current trajectory of Xbox and Microsoft. But mainly, the thing I want to talk about is how Microsoft is planning a smart TV-based Xbox app which required no further hardware at all. This is something I actually mentioned a couple of months ago, because I had a feeling they could do something with Amazon, and then Amazon brought up their cloud-based gaming system, and that's it. So that app on the TV makes me get Game Pass, because as much as I like it on my phone, it's not great because the screen is so small and I have to I have to Bluetooth my console. It's not the same as playing a Switch. Whereas on my TV, the stream is so good, the quality is so good that if I'm just hooking up my controller to a TV that's already there, that is genuinely worth getting on a monthly basis. I do have a quote that he said anyway, but I'll just read that out. So he says, "I think you're going to see that in the next 12 months. I don't think anything is going to stop us from doing that. I thought what you said about the TV was spot on. What we used to call a TV was a CRT. That's just throwing an image on the back of a piece of glass that I'm looking at. Now, as you said, a TV is more of a game console stuffed behind a screen that has an app platform and a Bluetooth stack and a streaming capability." So yeah, like, expect in the next 12 months, I would say, an Xbox app for the Game Pass. Zach, would you buy Game Pass? Would you subscribe to Game Pass if the app comes out and it's free to download on the TV?
Depends on the games, man. Yeah. I'm still kind of behind at the moment. Like I said, I'm always going on about it, but like, I only got my PlayStation like a year ago, so I'm still feel like I'm catching up on a lot of stuff. And anything that I have seen from the new generation hasn't especially made me very excited. There's a...
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say and the best things that, like, they seem so far away that there's no rush.
I'm in no rush. I can say that much. There'll come a point, you know what I mean? Because I think I got my Switch quite late as well. But even when I did get it, when did the Switch come out?
2017, March 3rd.
Oh, I actually got it in May. But to be honest, it felt kind of too early because nothing was out at that point. It was a Breath of the Wild machine that also played Mario Kart that had already been out on the Wii U.
Yep.
I was very grateful because I had loads of time to get into the Breath of the Wild thing. But, Mario wasn't out. Smash Brothers wasn't out. There was no third-party games, and I just don't really feel like I would have missed out by getting it 2 years later when there was loads of nice stuff for me to be getting into.
Like when Smash Ultimate came out, at that point, like...
there was kind of enough of a back catalogue to kind of keep me going. So there's nothing, like I say, there's no rush for me right now, but probably one day. Probably at some point there'll be... Do you know what? It'll probably just come down to a specific title. There'll just be something where I'm like, that's the title, it's going to make me do it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to play all these other games as well.
Yeah.
What about Elder Scrolls 6?
Maybe. I don't know if I like Elder Scrolls as much as I used to. I tried to go back to Skyrim recently, and I don't know, man. I'm lazy. I've been talking about a lot. We've been talking about the open world stuff, and I'm just so lazy when it comes to. We were talking about Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, don't.
And I don't know if I care that much.
That's fair enough.
It's good. Someone in the world has to not care.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one. Like, it seems cool. Like, it definitely seems cool, but I just, don't know if I'd be bothered.
It's definitely a lot. I mean, you think about it, like it requires a lot of energy. Those games, it does, because
some of them I really like as well. When I first played Skyrim, man, I fucking loved that game. On the other hand, GTA 5, I really don't care for like at all. Even though I do accept that it is a really good, well-crafted game.
Yeah,
it's just kind of it's a bit overwhelming as well as the other thing. We talked a little bit like I've got a little bit of kind of open world fatigue, in spite of the fact that I actually think open world is a really good step away from the linearity of games of old. But I don't know, I quite like a little bit more structure at the moment.
I think you're right as well. I think that's a really good point as well, because I think there's something to be said about one of the things that, like, you mentioned Cyberpunk, and I am completely on the hype train. I am on there. I'm like next to the captain. I'm pulling the fucking horn at this point. But like, not that horn. The hype train
is so big it has a captain.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm there like egging him on. But like, the thing I'm excited about that is that it's just a city. So in a sense that it's because the one thing I like, because I think Ubisoft in general, they tend to go about it in the wrong way. I always feel that they always think that a bigger map equals a better game, and I just don't. I agree with you. I don't necessarily think that. That's
and
true.
Even the clip that you sent me of Cyberpunk, they were kind of putting a lot of emphasis on how every game they make, they like to make it bigger and more detailed. And you're right, Ubisoft really is the exact... It's such a good example of how you can make a massive world really, really boring.
Yeah.
And sort of take the exploration out of it. On the other hand, actually, Breath of the Wild, such a good example of the opposite of that, of just making a big world, putting stuff in it, and not telling you where any of it is.
I think
and then it becomes a real exploration.
I think that comes down to perfect game design, though. Like, I've read so much about Breath of the... I know we could talk about Breath of the Wild all the time, but just the way that, even the way they made the mountains in that game, they always wanted you to be able to see something in the distance and go, oh, what's that? Oh, literally, that's the game design.
They also make getting around so fun, and another big problem that a lot of open world games seem to have right now. Like, I was playing Fallout 4 not so long ago, and I just don't really like walking around very much. I just kind of find it like...
hell out of Fallout 4.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to get there now. Like, and fast traveling is great and all, but it's not a crutch. It's not an excuse for not making it fun to get from one place to another. Incidentally, Marvel Spider-Man, super fun to get around. Is there a fast travel system in that game?
There is. There is a fast travel system. I mean, in the PS5, it's almost instantaneous. It's ridiculous how fast. I mean, it's not even fast travel. It's just you're there.
You're just there. It's just
it's like seconds, which is crazy.
I heard one report that it's like, it feels like it's broken because you fast travel so quickly. You're like, is it just glitched out to a new location? It's like, no, you just fast travel.
Are they just loading like the full map all at once and then just putting you there, or can it just load quick enough that you don't have to?
Just load quick enough.
Yeah, I guess, it's just loading it. I mean,
that's amazing.
I'm going to find it because I was originally only going to buy Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I think I'm going to buy the Ultimate one because an extra £20. I know I know that I'm going to enjoy Spider-Man Miles Morales as a game that I'm probably going to replay the original. and I want to replay it on PS5 just to see what is different, because it's getting better reviews than the original one did, purely based on what the PS5 can do. So
yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Let's move on to Doom Eternal for the Switch. Hasn't been cancelled, but sadly, the physical version of Doom Eternal on the Switch has been cancelled. This game will now only be a digital-only release. Bethesda said, while Doom Eternal is 100% on track for an imminent digital-only release on Nintendo Switch, the absence of a physical release at retail resulted in cancelled pre-orders. Affected customers will receive full refunds and should contact their preferred retailer for more information. I think this is basically come down to the game is getting too big and they don't want to spend money on buying cards, like the full 30GB cards. I don't think it's a big issue, because the thing with the previous Doom was you had to download like half the game anyway onto the Switch. Like I think it was just the multiplayer, but it was still like, and you had the cartridge and then an extra 16GB on top. It sucks that it's not going to be physical for a lot of people that wanted to buy it. I personally wasn't going to play it on the Switch, because if I was going to play it, I'd just play it on Game Pass now. But yeah, it just, I don't know.
I have a question for you guys. You guys, do you guys like to have physical copies of games generally?
I do. I suck up at physical copies.
So,
but
right
now,
now,
Xbox One, so no.
Say again.
I had a digital Xbox One, so most.
Did you? But so right now, I mean, it's not the same everywhere, but certainly in the UK right now, you can't like go buy a game in a shop for the for the meantime. So if a game came out right now, but you really wanted to play it, would you order it and wait for it to come, or would you download a digital copy?
Daf Weeks, we haven't heard much from you. Like, how would you go about it?
Right, so I'd go on the price, and also, I mean, I'm never in a hurry to get anything on day one.
Yeah,
I never am. But also, it's always going to be for me like down to the price, because physical copies you're going to get deals on more often than you're going to get the digital, and also, I like trading in my games.
Yeah.
If it's a game that I know, this will see me over for a year and I want to trade it in at the end and maybe get £5 back, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And you can also.
I'm a frugal man.
No, totally
you're a
get
wise
it.
man. You're a wise Dav. And you make a really good point as well. Like the thing with me as well is that like the one thing that always kind of worries me, I guess more with Nintendo than anyone else when it comes to physical games, is that Nintendo with their digital stuff, and we'll get onto it in a little bit, but like they do tend to like just cancel any support for any of their games, and then it's just like, you've got this long to download it, but after this point you ain't getting it anymore. And they do that quite a lot. It's because they want you to buy it again on their next system. Whereas like, to be fair to PlayStation and specifically Xbox, in all fairness, backwards compatibility is a thing. And if you've still got a physical disc of like say Fable on the Xbox, it could I think in theory still works on the Xbox Series X, which is fucking incredible, by the way.
So what it does is it has a look at your disc. It goes, oh, that's Fable on 360. On original Xbox.
Yeah.
Let's download Fable, and then whenever you want to play it, just pop in the disc, and we'll play the downloaded version for you.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's
like
a
I love that. I love that.
It's a very cool
like
move.
a key, and they've designed an Xbox and a 360 emulator to go inside the One and the Series X.
Because I think as well it does a good job of like of ensuring that games and their legacy last. There's a big thing with Nintendo at the moment with Melee, Smash Brothers Melee. Like they wanted to do an online tournament, and I get Nintendo's side. We're not going to get into it too much, but like the whole preservation of video games is like a big thing, and Nintendo are not massively on top of that, whereas Xbox they're doing a great job of it. So
Nintendo is so weird, man. Like you said, let's not go into it, but they brought out Star Fox 2.
Yeah.
On a Super NES Mini.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, like the cancelled Star Fox 2. Like they believe in game preservation, but only when they can monetize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does suck. Because the thing is that like, because because even with the new Fire, I said the new Fire Emblem, the Switch version of the original Fire Emblem game, it's limited. Like you've only got until the 31st of. Also, we're going to talk about the 31st of March because another thing is ending on the 31st of March for Nintendo, which is just bonkers. Yeah, and it's along the same lines of what we're talking about. So I'll leave that till we get to it. But let's move on. So this is actually a big deal. We've been talking about Game Pass quite a lot. Jim Ryan is hinting that there's going to be a PlayStation alternative to Game Pass. He gave a quote last week, which basically I'll read it out just now. He says there is actually news to come in relation to a PlayStation version of Game Pass. But just not today. We have PlayStation Now, which is our subscription service, and that is available in a number of markets. Does anyone want to hazard a guess as to what this might be?
Doesn't sound like they're doing an overhaul, a rebrand or anything.
It doesn't sound like that, but they need something, don't they? Because Game Pass is soaring. It really is just doing Microsoft.
Has it made a difference to sales so far?
Well, I think we said last week 70% of all Series X and S owners have Game Pass. It's getting to the point where
but I'm saying if there's still the diehard PlayStation fans and the diehard Xbox fans, it might not, in the short term, it won't necessarily matter all that much because people are still, you can't use Game Pass unless you're doing that.
I can see PlayStation doing a thing similar to Game Pass, but they have all the third-party ones on there, and then first-party is on a monthly basis. So this month you can play Last of Us Part 2 and God of War, but then next month you'll be able to play Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man Miles Morales.
And
so
do it the same way as
and you go, you get 10% off if you buy it in this month, and then you go, I really like it, but it's leaving this PlayStation Pass, I'm going to buy it.
You don't think they might do the sort of the PlayStation Plus thing where they give you a quote unquote free game every month?
Well, they're still doing it. They're still doing that.
And with the PS5 as well, the whole back catalogue is available. My brother told me about this the other day.
And Bugsnax was this month PlayStation Plus, and in February it's going to be Destruction All Stars, which was originally a launch title. So they are doing it, and those are cool games to have on to have for free. So
but we'll keep an eye out and we'll see what PlayStation actually do. But I can't imagine they'll do it. I mean, I just can't imagine they'll be able to compete with what Game Pass offers. Just I'm not sure anything really does in the video game sphere. Anyway, let's move on to sadly Capcom suffered another serious information breach. And this is I'm not gonna mention anything. It's just a real shame that it's happened. Basically, this is from the original one we spoke about last week. This is it. Basically, they've announced everything that Capcom wants to do up until the year 2024, which is genuinely devastating. That is genuinely devastating.
I mean, at least with Capcom, things could change, but the only issue is that when things do change, people will know it's changed.
Yeah, exactly.
If a game gets delayed, or not delayed, but announced for a date later than what was leaked, then it's it still got delayed. It's
there's problems,
No, we went.
Yeah, that's true. It becomes delayed whether or not it's even been announced. That's really shitty, actually. Yeah, that's not cool.
And like I said, I think that the thing I said last time is that the thing that sucks is that, again, this is people's hard work. This is people's work. They've been put game developers work so hard. From mostly the people at the bottom, let's be honest. I know people at the top work hard as well, but the people at the bottom, who literally make these games, they work so hard. It must be so frustrating that they lose out on that moment where, at least they'll get some semblance of joy saying, this game is coming. We know how much people want it, Again, I'm not going to name what games are being released. I just have a load of sympathy for the people working at Capcom that this has happened because it sucks. But yeah, let's. So we're actually going to talk very quickly about CD Projekt Red. This is just a really cool thing, and I know I am definitely personally going to get use out of this. But they've added a new mode to Cyberpunk 2077 where it's the ability to stream on Twitch without using any copyrighted music from the game itself, which is really cool because there's a big issue with Twitch at the moment where So basically, I realized this recently when I played Pro Evo. when I was doing streams of Pro Evo, and when I had the music coming on, everything was muted. And I didn't realize that until like I kind of like just wanted to. I always check my streams afterwards to see if there's any like how the stream is looking, like the frames and all that kind of stuff. And this is one of the earliest ones I did, and I remember going, "Oh, my mic isn't working." And then when I was playing the games, it was. I was like, "Oh, it must be to do with the music." So the fact that the
archive,
So the fact that they've made a whole load of music or had a whole load of music ready, so that you can go right. I'm streaming this. Press a little button, and nothing's copyrighted. It's all with Cyberpunk. I think that's really cool.
That's thinking ahead.
It's really, really cool that they've done that. I know we've given CD Projekt Red a lot of shit recently with regards to their practices, and rightly so. But I do also we can still like it's still okay to say like that's a really cool thing. You know, it's okay to say they're doing shitty things as well as saying that's a cool thing. And finally, this is the one thing I was holding off on with the 31st of March. Nintendo has announced a discontinuation of online services for the original Super Mario Maker on the Wii U, meaning players will no longer be able to upload their courses, which basically kind of just ends the game on the Wii U. It's because they want people to buy it on the Switch, basically. The discontinuation comes into effect on the 31st of March 2021. From that date, it will no longer be possible to upload courses, and on that same day, the Super Mario Maker bookmark website will also close. Nintendo says that it will still be possible to make courses uploaded before the server discontinuation, but that's it. What is happening on the 31st of March? Is it just that that's the end of the financial year?
Yeah, I guess,
and they're just coming up with something fresh, or is it just because is that like the fourth thing now to mention, or like maybe even the fifth thing to mention specifically that date?
It is. That's the first Mario Maker, isn't it? It's not the second one.
It's the first one, yeah. First one on the Wii U.
But yeah, 31st of March. I think they were like, we've got to end it at some point. Oh, we're doing everything else shitty on the 31st of March. We'll just put it all in there. April 1st, fresh start.
Because it's the Fire Emblem game I mentioned earlier, 31st of March. It's Mario 3D All Stars, 31st of March. It's Mario
35.
Yeah, 35. That's ending on 31st of March. Now this, and there was something else as well. I can't remember what it was. It just isn't it weird? Like, maybe it could be. It could just be as you say, Dave. It could just be that's just the date. That nothing's really changing. It's just that's the date we're sticking with, and yeah, I think that's it. I think again though, when we like, because I don't know if you're going to be able to buy it as well. I think I could be wrong, but I think I remember reading earlier you wouldn't be able to digitally buy it. You can still re-download it, but you couldn't buy the game on the Wii shop. I think I could be wrong, but it's again because they want people to buy Mario Maker 2.
Well, yeah, but I think that also makes sense from like what would they have to put on the shop, on the eShop, to be like, okay, you want to buy Mario Maker 1, that's fine, but no online functionality whatsoever. If you're going to make a course, it's for your own enjoyment or any mates that you've got coming around. So I get that, like,
Yeah, I think it just kind of pretty much just tacks on to the end of what we were saying earlier about Nintendo. Just they say they're for preservation, but they don't do a good job of actually preserving their games and their legacy and stuff, which is just shitty. But to a lot of people, that game was a huge thing, and to a lot of people, actually, it actually was one of the best reasons to have a Wii U. For a lot of people I know who had Super Mario Maker, and it was huge on Twitch. So, thank you, I guess.
I find that really frustrating. That just seems, I don't know.
There
are a lot of older games that are that Halo 3 still is technically online. You can still go online and play Halo 3.
Yeah,
those servers still exist.
Not even the Master Chief Collection version, but
actual. No, I'm talking about
Halo
literally
3.
the original. It's the craziest thing. That then, I mean, when did Mario Maker come out?
2011?
Yeah, it came out within. I mean,
no,
when did it come out?
Not 2011, like 2013 or
I think
something.
It was 2015 or maybe. Well, I mean,
wait, let me look it up.
Maybe it wasn't even that late.
I don't know. I don't want to like compare everyone, but it just seems like it came out in 2015.
2015, yeah, I thought it was. I remember that was in
my mind for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not. It's 5 years. It's not old at all.
I don't know. It just seemed. It's a bit like it's quite a lot of money as well to be like. I guess the game would have been like £50 when it came out or whatever, and to be like, right, you can play this for 5 years.
You know what? I can see where a world in which there is no one playing it because there is no one playing their Wii U.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's also true.
Yeah, I can see a world. There's 1,000 people who are playing online the Super Mario Maker.
Yeah,
and it's probably very much not cost effective to keep those servers open.
That is a good point. To be fair, the Wii U did not sell well, so I guess it's not totally fair to hold them to such a high standard. It just seems like a shame.
Yeah, there's probably still more people playing it than playing Anthem.
Yeah, God, yeah, all Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah.
Combined, probably. But that is it. That is the news, gents. Should we talk about games games we've been playing? Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? I'll go
first.
Yeah, you go first.
Because I'm playing nothing new. But I'm loving Rocket League. Their season 1 when they rolled out with the free to play, they smashed it. I think they're doing a great job with just like how they tiered it up. Some of the pricing is a bit odd. I've not put any money into it except for buying the actual battle pass, the rocket pass. And I feel justly rewarded with the cosmetics that I'm receiving. Apex, I'm playing daily, doing my dailies on that, having a lot of fun. So yeah, I've got an Xbox Series X and I spend a third of my time playing free-to-play games that are from the Xbox One. So good job on those games.
Mostly Yakuza. Are you streaming Yakuza as well, aren't you?
Streaming Yakuza, yeah. I'll be streaming that later today.
Awesome.
Streaming it Wednesdays and Thursdays at the moment. Because I have a day job, and sadly, otherwise I would just stream it 24-hour non-stop.
Just live the life. That's just Dav's life.
Yeah,
he is the game.
Please, that's all I want in my life. Please.
Awesome. Anything else, Dav? Anything else you want to say?
No. I've had 1 or 2 issues with the glorious quick resume.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just occasionally there is a game that, like, I'll go, oh, well, let's quick resume that one. And I'll go, oh, wait, now this has crashed, like, immediately. I've got to, like, turn it off and start it up again. Which, in theory, adds another 10 seconds instead of taking away a minute and a half. But,
you got to stop blowing smoke into it, Dav. You got to stop blowing smoke into it.
Dude, I just can't help it, bro. But again, with Gears Tactics, it worked to a charm. And, like, I could boot up Gears Tactics now and it would be like that. Straight away, in the middle of a match.
I did love that when you said that you hadn't played it for like a week and then you just go, I'll just jump back. 2 weeks, there we are. Jump back in and it was there.
I'd unplugged my Xbox twice and came back to it and it still worked.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that is such a cool thing.
It's still got some kinks it needs to work out, but for the most part, quick resume is still chef's kiss.
If you didn't see that was he did the whole thing as well. It was glorious. Awesome, thanks, Dav. Zach, Dav Weeks. Anything you want to talk about?
Have you got anything, Zach?
I have 2 things I'd like to talk about. Yeah, that doesn't happen very fucking often. Well, kind of. So I went back to play the South Park game.
Which one?
The Fractured But Whole.
Yes!
The Fractured Butthole. Okay.
I've got it.
No, sorry, the Fractured But Whole.
The Fractured Butthole.
No, you're saying it right. Oh, it's so stupid. Whatever. But so I started playing it. Last time I played it was at the beginning of this year when I was on loads of painkillers and couldn't really move or do anything. And I really, really enjoyed it. And then I thought to myself recently, was it really good or was I on loads of painkillers and couldn't do anything else? And I have to say, I'm enjoying it less the second time. But I don't think that's because it's not good. I think I'm enjoying it less because I know what's coming. So, like, the jokes aren't quite as, like, punching or whatever. I'm also playing it on, like, a slightly harder difficulty, which I do think is misbalanced. The combat, for the most part, is really well orchestrated. It's really nice turn-based combat on this cool little grid. And all the characters have, like, there's enough variation in it for it to feel strategic and... But basically all they do for the harder difficulty is make all the enemies have way more health. And it just kind of turns it into... Every fight just takes forever. It's not harder. It just takes longer. And that's a bit of a problem for me just because I can't be bothered, you know what I mean? It makes the game take too long. It doesn't feel exciting. It just kind of feels like, all right, I figured out the pattern. Now I just have to fucking sit here and wail on them, you know? And that's a little bit frustrating. Yeah. But as a whole... I still think the game is very good, and it got me back into the series. Actually, I started catching up on the series earlier this year, and I think the show's pretty good for what it is. You know, of a 20-year-old, long-standing animated show.
The way that they're able to record those episodes are the reason why it's always going to stay relevant, as long as Matt and Trey want to keep doing it.
It's pretty amazing that they can do it so quickly. So I'm really enjoying that. The other thing I've been doing, and I was thinking about, I don't know if this is allowed. Are you allowed to play Flash games on Twitch? Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I kind of want to do a Flash game Friday, maybe. Like, just thought that'd be fun. I went back and just like went through all these old Flash games that I used to like when I was a kid. They're great, man. There are so many games that are like, again, like they'd be like 15 years old or whatever, and made on Adobe Flash or whatever. I don't know what the you know what I mean. Like they'd just be like, the one that stood out for me. Did you guys ever play The Last Stand or The Last Stand 2?
No, but I'm glad it's got a sequel.
Great. It's so much fun.
It might be a bit like, because the thing is, me and Daf Weeks are, because how old do you know, Zach? 26.
26.
Yeah, 26. Me and Dav already like being businessmen by the time you were in school.
That's not right. Wait, how?
We're now old, decrepit freaks.
We're old. Well, freaks. I mean,
speak for yourself, Dave.
No, it might have just been. It might have just been.
But no, what I was going to say,
yeah.
but there are. There are loads.
This.
There are loads of great Flash games, and I implore anyone who is now reminded of Flash games to spend an hour over their lunch break or whatever.
I'm gonna look.
Just go and find.
What's it called?
Just go and play any old Flash game. Play whichever one you remember
Bloons
being good.
Tower
like
Defense.
Bloons Tower Defense is dope. I like Bloons Tower Defense 3 the best.
Ooh, I like 2.
2's very good. No, maybe it's 2 I like.
1's garbage. But
1 is just a little bit. It's not.
1's my favorite.
1's a prototype.
I actually really like. Bloons.
I've never played it. I have no idea.
Did you ever play the Bloons game where it's like a puzzle and you have to like shoot the.
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Well, I mean, I'd already played Bloons Tower Defense.
It's trash.
So
like
definitely go and play some Flash games, and maybe I'll do some
9.
Flash games on Twitch.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I actually love that. I love the fact you've gone back and played that. That's really funny as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. Also, anything else, Zach? Anything else we want to talk about?
That's me. That's me
Awesome.
for the week.
Great.
Sorry, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Stand now has a mobile game.
Does it really?
The Last Stand Zombie Among Us.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. So there was The Last Stand, which is okay. Last Stand 2 is the best. Then Last Stand Union City, which was pretty good, has a great big story and stuff. And then, I guess I never played the mobile game. I'll have to
I can bet you all of my money, which is probably a minus figure, that the subtitle Zombie Among Us didn't exist until the game Among Us was
almost certainly, because it'll be the second thing that comes up now underneath Among Us when you look it up.
Oh, that's clever.
Surely.
It came out in 2007.
Oh, really?
So I would have been close to going to uni at that point.
Yeah,
so
you'd have been over your Flash game phase.
No, I just wouldn't have been. I would have just been.
Well, I was gonna say most of the time I spent playing Flash games would have been in IT.
In school. That's the
I'd just be like, I have a lesson, but
yeah. Awesome. Daf Weeks, what have you got for us?
For another week, I am taking inspiration from the gaming habits of the people in this Zoom conversation.
Oh shit!
I've been playing Hollow Knight.
Oh!
Yay!
No, I've got this. Jesus.
Awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I really like it. I've rage quitted it a couple of times.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Actually, can I just I was playing on Twitch and I had a genuine moment of like seething rage and I like totally let it out, and then I had to like apologize to the chat. I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. That was genuine rage. It's a fucking hard game.
Can I also say as well, like Dav, when I think of you rage quit, I feel like it's going to be the most polite thing in the world. It's like just you gently putting control down. I will not play this anymore. And just that's how I imagine you. It's such a gentle soul.
I need a green tea.
Yes, it's usually I'll turn off the TV there. I need a biscuit.
But really aggressively.
Cookie Monster style.
Bits flying off your teeth.
Yeah. No, I'm really enjoying it. I see what you mean by train. I get you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I thought train as well when I saw that, yeah.
Okay, it's at a station. It's a train.
Yeah, it's
just
a fucking
it's
train.
A bug, it's also a train. Goes through tunnels. I'm really loving it.
Where are you up to?
Oh god, like I'm finding it's like obviously it's not linear, and you just kind of go and then you find a really hard world that you can't traverse, and you kind of go, oh, okay, I'll go back to the crossroads, go that way until you find a new world that you can't traverse.
Totally.
Shit, down, just go down.
Yeah.
So I got to like the Foggy Canyon?
Oh yeah.
And the place with the jellyfish. The jellyfish suck. I hate those jellyfish. They really just die and fire shit at you. They suck. It's fun. I'm really liking it. I dig it. It's like weird mix of Dark Souls and, well, you know, rather
Metroidvania.
It's for Metroidvania.
Yeah,
honestly.
I love the art style. The art style.
It is very pretty. And I'm loving the music.
You see why I wanted to submit it?
I get you. I'm getting proper like Studio Ghibli vibes from it and stuff like that.
Yeah, have you've seen Nausicaa Valley of the Wind?
Yeah.
I mean,
very
similar. They're the Ohms. They're just like they were just like, that film. Let's just immediately make loads of those.
Oh, that's such a good film.
That's such a good film, right?
Intense. Yeah.
Did you just a question for last week? Did you end up finishing Link to the Past, or did you just like put it on?
I still haven't finished it.
Oh,
Don't worry.
No, I'm just really excited to see like.
Jonny goes home and has to have like a little cry about
it. I'm gonna go like as soon as Dav hasn't beat Link to the Past, Rosie. I don't know if I can have him on ever again.
Don't worry, I will finish it. I'm back in Brighton next week. I'll have a lot of, and with the England still in lockdown, I'm absolutely gonna complete it. Don't worry.
Nice.
I just can't wait to hear what you say about that game, because awesome. I mean, you've been playing some absolute bangers, Dav. Fair play, like.
Hey, only thanks to you guys. I'm getting good recommendations coming through. It's nice.
Should we start like a recommendation at the end of each episode? We recommend you play this game. No,
that's a good idea. No, that's a good idea.
Maybe we'll start.
I recommend you all go and play Flash games all week.
There we go. That's our first recommendation.
That's your recommendation of the week.
Flash games.
Amazing.
Bloons Tower Defense 2.
Yeah.
Anything else, Daf Weeks?
No.
Awesome.
Just that.
I got two games. First game I want to talk about is Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because I've been streaming it and I'm really enjoying it. It's actually been getting
man. I'm really enjoying the stream.
It's been getting a really good response on the stream as well. Like I've been getting a lot of people. Liko today was here watching it with me. All the way through the stream. I only did it for an hour, but last night I did it for about 2 hours, and I had people staying for most of the stream. Like really, not obviously. Just enjoying the story. Like the combat is it's repetitive, but it's not boring, and it's not like repetitive in a way that's like, oh, I'm starting to dislike it. It's just like I don't know, because it's so weighted. This is the thing I said months ago. As long as the combat is weighted, I'm on board, and I'm really enjoying it. The story's great. The music is really good. I love playing with Urbosa. I think she's badass. And Link is also great. I hit a great moment today, which I'm very excited for Dav to get to, because I know Dav's playing it. I don't want to talk about too much, one, because I'm streaming it, and also Dav has yet to play it. But I've already put in 7 hours, and I did not realize that.
Wow.
Can I ask a favor of you? Would you mind please doing your Daruk impression? Because it's really fucking good.
Oh, okay.
It's so spot on.
Well, there's two. First of all, there's two.
You have to hear them side by side
Yeah,
to realize how close they. Because you did it on the stream, and I thought it was in the game, and I had to look at my phone, and I was like, oh no, that's Jonny.
It's just me just being an absolute dick. This could be bad. I apologize if it's bad. It's
not. It's
I gotta get. It's the gravel scene.
You know what?
Daruk's protection is now ready. That's all
so
it is.
Good.
That's all it is. But then I think the other one as well is just that storekeeper. It's just the storekeeper basically being too bad. Oh my god! As soon as I heard it, Dab was there, and it doesn't even sound like it that much. But just because he was like,
it does.
But I was just like, I was just there all the time. Just, oh my god!
I wonder if that's like a copyrighted noise. Like if you did that
with Tim Allen, it absolutely is.
Do you think?
Banging on my
stream because you're making Tim Allen impressions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like if they did it in the game, like would they be allowed to keep it, or would it be like?
I don't know.
Would they get in trouble?
They'd have to emulate it.
Can you copyright a noise?
Have Tim Allen. They couldn't have Tim Allen's voice, but they could have someone doing an impersonation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the entire time. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I've been really enjoying Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. It's been really good. I'm going to keep streaming it every Tuesday. And I'm going to try and dip in and out with like an hour here, an hour there, like during the day when I've got time, because it's just great. I do want to quickly talk about Jedi Fallen Order. I'm going to disappoint Dav and just say that I thought the game was fine, and that kind of disappointed me. Not that it's a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game. I think my expectations of it were just very different from what it actually ended up being, and that was kind of disappointing, if that makes sense. Like sometimes when you play a game, you expect it to be one way, and then it's not the way you expected it, and it's like, oh, that's a shame. I do feel like towards the end, the glitches were just getting hilariously bad. Like at one point, the end battle with I'm not gonna say who it was with actually, just in case anyone wasn't played it, but the end battle, the boss, the penultimate villain, just glitched. I don't know. It started talking to me with no one on screen, and they just glitched halfway through. And
the
I was
same
like,
happened to me.
I was like, what? What? Like, and it was clearly not supposed to happen, because the way that this person was walking across, I was like, oh, it wasn't supposed to happen. And that wasn't the first time. Like so many times, the game would just stop for about 10 seconds, like just freeze. There'd be frame rates dipping in and out. It's like I think the one thing that disappointed me the most, because I've got to be honest, I love the story. I thought the story was great. I thought outside of the combat, the way that it plays was brilliant, and some elements of the combat was really good. I think the thing that's the most frustrating for me with that game is that it could have been better if EA gave it time and polished it. Yes. That was my issues with it, and I'm hoping that they look at the response to that one, because there's going to be another one, because it sold well, it had reasonably good reviews, and people seem to like it, which is great. I love Star Wars games. I just feel like I just wished that the lightsaber had more weight, because when you're bashing someone like loads of times with a lightsaber, you're so used to being able to cut through people. I know this is such a gory thing to say, really, but like a lightsaber is such a sacred weapon in Star Wars that like when it doesn't have the impact you think it does, it is a bit of a letdown. Saying that, I mean, that's just my personal opinion of the game. Dav, I know you loved it. My brother really enjoyed it. I just think that it was okay. And I said to you on the stream, on stream when I was doing Hyrule Warriors, if I was to like rate it, it would still be in like the Metacritic reviews, it'd still be like an 80. It would still be. I still enjoyed a lot of it, but I just hope that when it comes to the next game, they fix the issues, because there were a lot of them. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that. Does anyone else have anything to wrap up before I move on to the old quizzy quiz?
The only thing I'll say about Fallen Order is I absolutely agree that there is jank. And yet it's still one of my favorite games of the last generation.
Yeah, I
love so much about that game.
Yeah.
The music, the story, the acting,
man.
The worlds.
Honestly.
I just think it looks gorgeous as well.
Yep.
And some of the characters you meet are just really like some of the best characters in any Star Wars IP ever. For me, it's the best story I've ever witnessed in the Star Wars universe. I haven't watched the Clone Wars TV series, so anyone who's going to shout at me about that, if that's better, that's better. But I think it's better than all the films, story-wise.
I think the frustrating thing for me is that one of the first Star Wars games I loved, not played, was Knights of the Old Republic, and it's still considered one of the best Star Wars games after like 20 years. And EA owns BioWare, who made that game, so I don't know why they're not just going make another. Even if they they can still make the two games side by side, but just if they made a game like that, I would buy that day one, because Knights of the Old Republic is one of the all-time great games. But yeah, let's move on to the quiz. Are you guys? Who wants to do the? I'm not going to sing through every bloody question this week. Who is gonna sing this week's theme?
Hey, it's the quiz.
Oh, we got a guitar.
Sorry.
There you go.
I also really enjoyed how Dav sang. Realized there was a guitar. I just like freaked out a little bit. That was beautiful.
I got too excited about the guitar.
But I loved it. I love how like chaotic that was. That sums up this podcast perfectly. Brilliant. All right, then. Should we go question number one? Let's batter through these questions.
Come on.
Okay. Question number 1. So again, if you don't know the answer to this, you just don't know, sadly. Okay. There's only one answer. I haven't got any extras to give you. Question number 1. The Rockstar video game Bully originally had a different title in the UK, but what was it?
Oh, you bastard.
You might have to say it because I
can't remember. I can't remember the specifics. I think I need to hear them.
So
Yeah,
do you want a clue? Do you want a clue?
I don't. I know it.
Clue.
Oh.
Have you got the?
So it's not. It's so I. This is the one I was gonna say. I was being a bit ruthless here. I'm not reading out the actual games. There's only one. I've only got one answer, and I've got a clue, and that's all. That's all the help
Let's
I got.
hear the clue.
No, I don't
want to hear the clue.
I don't want the clue.
We don't want the clue.
Don't want the clue. Okay.
No, because I know what the title is, but I don't know what it is. Like I
I
know
that
what the clue
it's
would be.
Just write down what you think it is. Okay, just write down what you think it is. And then but bear in mind, I'm expecting what it looked like on the. It makes sense.
It's some dog shit Latin, and I can't remember what it is.
Okay, so it has to be in Latin. It has to be Latin, is what the answer is. Okay. Right.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Daf Weeks is on this, and I'm very impressed. If you know,
I'm very impressed. I'm livid about it.
Okay.
Guys, yep.
Okay. Dog shit Latin. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Press enter.
Fuck off.
Ooh. Daf Weeks, what did you go with?
Canis Canem Edit.
Daf Gape, what did you go with?
Canis Cadam Edit.
And Zach Hamilton, what did you go with?
Dog shit Latin.
I mean, that's right, but it's not really right. Right, one of you is right, and I can't give the answer to the other person.
I agree.
It is Daf Weeks, and it's Canis Canem Edit, which means, does anyone know?
Dog eat dog?
Dog eats dog. It's dog eats dog.
I mean, I knew it was something about a dog, and I knew it was in Latin, so...
Pluto.
Fair dues, Dav. Good effort.
Good answer. Daf Gape, I'm really sorry, but that was a really, really good guess.
That was really...
Question number 2. What year did Undertale release? Okay, I do have a selection of years, but I imagine you probably would have guessed one of these years anyway. So, yeah, just throw me an answer. What year did Undertale release? Question number 2. Do you guys have an answer?
Yeah.
think so.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. Then Zach.
2017.
Daf Gape.
2016.
And Daf Weeks.
2015.
Storming into a lead is Daf Weeks with another right
Damn
answer.
it,
It's 2015.
That was a good guess. I had no idea.
That was
For some reason
good.
in my
That was
head,
good.
Games are just never released in a year with an odd number. I'll just never guess a year with an odd number.
Yeah. All right, question number 3. Asia Zelda god, by the way, was involved with all of the following games, but which game was the first that he himself directed? Okay, the first one is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Marvelous Mojito Su no Takarajima, and NES Open Tournament Golf. Okay, so Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Marvelous, or Open Tournament Golf.
Okay.
Okay, on the count of 3, you guys ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, press enter.
Ooh.
Daf Weeks, what did you go with?
Golf.
Daf Gape
Ocarina of Time.
and Zach Hamilton.
Golf.
See, this is a dick of a question because the answer was Marvelous. Mojito Su no Takarajima is the correct answer. His first game was NES Open Tournament Golf. And did you know when he went to work for Nintendo, he had never played a video game before in his life?
Wow.
How did he get the job?
I apparently because I remember reading it. No, nothing. It was like he's just a really creative person. I think he was a carpenter or something, and he designed something that honestly he designed something that one of the guys from Nintendo saw, and they were just like, "That is amazing. Could you design something for us?" And he had to learn. He had to learn everything. It's crazy. He's a genius. Absolutely, considering he came from nowhere.
That's bullshit. Fuck that guy.
I need to make a table.
Question, can't even make a table.
Right.
Could barely sit at one. Anyway, question number 4. According to How Long to Beat, how many hours would it take to 100% complete Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor? The term used is completionist. And remember, this is going to be the person closest to this number. I mean, Zach, you got actually nailed on last week. I was very impressed with that.
What did I do last week?
You just had the right answer, bang on.
What was the game?
I can't remember.
Last of Us.
But it was impressive.
I just remember you got the right answer, and I was like, what? Right.
It was Last of Us, and he was 1 hour off.
No, it was The Last of Us. I got it right, but I also got it wrong.
No, because maybe it was the week before then. There was one you got bang on. There was one you got like the exact time.
I think I got The Last of Us right, except for it included something that
it was the DLC.
It was the DLC that I forgot to include.
Yeah. So how many hours? Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. Okay. Here you go. On the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Zach, go first.
32 hours.
Daf Gape.
71.
Daf Weeks.
30.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's done it again. Zach Hamilton is 32 hours. That is ridiculous. How have you done that?
Well, like I've not even played that game the whole way through. I've only seen it being played, but like the story can only be 15 hours tops, right? Surely it's not a very deep game, but it is a big world. But there's not that much to do in that world, so double it. I reckon
these questions are becoming the Zach Hamilton questions. It's scary.
Yeah, I thought it was going to include like DLC and like some of that stuff.
It totally could have done,
like getting all the gear and whatnot. So
I enjoyed that game. I did enjoy that.
But basically, all there is to do in that game is once you've done the game, I guess, is to like do the orc shit, right?
Yeah,
is that it?
It was one of the first games that felt next gen to me.
It did. I agree
Nemesis
with that.
system.
I agree with that 100%. Okay, question number 5. What was the last game released on the PSP? When was the last game released on the PSP? Bonus point for the game. When was the last game released on the PSP? Bonus point for the game.
Fuck.
What game would it?
I like the PSP.
I feel like I always put the same answer as the game for the game.
I'm expecting NBA or NFL or NHL or something like that.
Let's see.
How dare you? You don't know.
Is it FIFA?
No, it's none of the things you've said. Okay. So far I'm doing well. It could have been Tetris.
Could have been Tetris. All right, you guys gonna answer?
Ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. Daf Weeks, what did you go with?
2009 PGA Tour Kart Pro.
Daf Gape.
2013 Ridge Racer V-Type Continental 2013 Pro.
I love that. Zach Hamilton.
I went with 2008 with Madden 09.
Okay. Retro City Rampage DX, which was released in July 2016.
Are you kidding? 2016.
Half these answers are bloody Retro City Rampage.
I know, right?
On, like, everything.
Yeah. Okay, question number 6. Which Rockstar game with a score of 98 is the highest rated by reviewers on Metacritic? I'll give you the. Do you want me to give you the top 4 in alphabetical order, and then you can just guess from that top 4?
Nah.
Do you want to just guess?
I think we can just guess which GTA it is.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Press enter. Zach, what did you go with?
I went with Red Dead 2.
Daf Gape?
GTA Vice City.
And Daf Weeks?
GTA 5.
You're all wrong.
San Andreas.
So
it's kind of edit, isn't it?
Kind of edit, yeah. So
table tennis.
Okay. Also, these no, none of you got it right so far. So this is the top 4. Okay, bear in mind they're all 97 or above. It's ridiculous. Grand Theft Auto 3 is in 4th place with 97. Grand Theft Auto 5 is in 3rd place with 97. Red Dead Redemption 2 is in 2nd place with 97. Grand Theft Auto 4 is number 1 with 98. Yeah, number 1.
It's the worst one.
It's the worst one as well.
No one likes it.
Nico, let's go bowling.
Wasn't it?
No.
No.
Roman, no.
The only one on 360 and PS3.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, not the only one. The first one.
Yeah. The one on Come on, 2008.
Yeah.
Okay. Name that badly described game. School friends fight against Nazi zombies and aliens to save their little town.
Say it again.
School friends fight against Nazi zombies and aliens to save their little town. School friends fight against Nazi zombies and aliens to save their little town.
I don't think this is a game I've played.
I think it is.
I disagree.
Nazi zombies.
Nazi zombies, very specific.
What the fuck? I literally can't think of what that would be. I don't feel like I've played any Nazi games in like ever.
I'm not going to say any more at this point, is what I will say. But okay, you guys can answer?
Yeah.
Okay, on the count of 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, press enter. Daf Weeks, what did you go with?
Kirby's Dream Land. What you don't realise is that's what it was all about.
Kirby Dream Land.
Very good.
Daf
It's a
Gape.
metaphor. It's a deep metaphor.
South Park, The Stick of Truth.
And Zach Hamilton.
Wolfenstein.
Daf Gape,
Of
what's the answer?
course it is.
South Park, The Stick of Truth.
Of course it is.
It is the stick of truth.
I haven't played it.
Oh, so when you mentioned the fractured butthole.
Yeah, I've only played the second one.
Oh man, I prefer the first one. I think the first
it's
one's
better. Yeah.
I
First
prefer
one's
the first
really
one. It's better. Yeah, it is. I was going to say that earlier, but I assumed you'd played it. There's the 6th member of the VJ crew. Question number 8. What is the vault number you begin your journey from in Fallout 4? I have 4 guesses if you want.
No.
If you want the 4.
No.
I can't remember. Wait, which Fallout?
Fallout 4.
Oh, fuck's sake, I don't remember.
I'm probably going to try, when I get my PlayStation 5 eventually, I'm probably going to try playing Fallout 4. Just to see how it plays, whether it improves any of the jank. Because those games got it. Alright, you guys can
all
answer?
that jank. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, press enter. Daf Weeks, what are you going with?
101.
101. Daf Gape?
117.
And Zach?
9.
9. The answer was 111.
Oh!
It's
Oh!
111. Yeah, the answer was 111.
Doesn't matter how far away you are from it.
It's
Still wrong.
What did you say? Closest gets the point.
Say it again.
Did you say closest gets the point?
No.
Yeah.
Which of these secondary Zelda characters appeared in the most Zelda games? Actually, shall I just give you... Like, do you want me to give you the 4, or do you just want to guess? The secondary Zelda characters which appeared in the most Zelda games. You don't have to guess the amount. Just which character has appeared in the most Zelda games that isn't, like, Link...
Zelda
actually, no.
or Ganon.
Zelda or Ganon.
Zelda or Ganon, yeah.
Can't
Do
be
you want
Link,
that?
can't be Zelda, and can't be Ganon.
Or I can just give you the top... Or I can just give you 4, the option from these 4. Would you just prefer these 4 as an option?
I can't think of what counts as a secondary character.
Yeah,
Give
I'll
me
do
the
that.
options.
Yeah, I'll give you the options. All right, so Beetle, Dampe, Postman, Tingle.
Oh, fuck, it's one of 2. Say them again.
Beetle, Dampe, Postman, Tingle.
Alright,
I think I know this.
I don't.
Are you guys got an answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, press enter. Zach Hamilton, what'd you go with?
I think it's Postman, but if it's not, then it's Dampe.
Daf Gape
Beetle.
and Daf Weeks.
Tingle.
Mr. Postman. That's the answer. Yeah. So Beetle has been in 6 games. Dampe has been in 6 games.
Beetle's been in 6 games?
Yeah. Tingle's been in 6, and Postman's been in 7. One more game.
God, I didn't realize that there were as many of those.
Last question. The Magnavox Odyssey is the very first commercial home video game console, but when did it come out in the USA? What year did it come out in the USA? The Magnavox Odyssey.
What did you say about it? Sorry, what was the whole?
Which year did it come out? Which year did the Magnavox Odyssey come out?
What was the other thing you said about it being a console?
It was just the very first commercial home video game console.
Okay.
The very first one. I saw a picture of it earlier. It's very primitive. Do you guys have an answer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press enter.
Oh, wow.
Daf Weeks, what did you go with?
1980.
Zach Hamilton, what did you go with?
1977.
And Daf Gape?
1978.
Okay, so you it was 1972 Very close, but not quite there. Now, this is probably the closest game we've had. There's actually a point between all three of you in that Daf Gape has 1, Daf Weeks has 2, and Zach has 2. So whoever gets the closest for this tiebreaker actually takes home the prize of being this week's champion.
Wow.
Okay, so here's the tiebreaker question. How many games released for the Sega Saturn?
Oh, fuck.
How many games released for the Sega Saturn? You guys got a cheeky answer?
I have a cheeky answer.
Okay. You guys ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, press enter.
Ooh.
Okay. I already know who's won, but I'm just going to ask you to get your question. So, Zach, what did you go with?
221.
Daf Gape, what did you go with?
360.
And Daf Weeks.
550.
The answer, and which will tell you our winner, is 1,092, which means Daf Weeks has won.
Oh, yeah.
You destroyed us this week.
Yeah, Daf Weeks takes home the prize. For,
There's always more games than you think, people.
Yeah.
I usually get like 8,000.
Yeah, it was actually quite surprising. When I saw that, I was like, really? I mean, it was out for like 4 years.
It really wasn't out long enough for that.
I think they just shoved. I just think they
they must have done.
Threw them on there and just
imagine that doesn't happen anymore. Like you've got to wait a few years before you get like anything like that many.
They must have just done stuff like re-release Sonic games or just on CD, and that's it. But yeah, that is the end of podcast number 32. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Tell your friends and give us a review or comment, because that would mean the world to us. This podcast is supported ultimately by a whole host of wonderful people, our lovely patrons over on Patreon. So to everyone that contributes, thank you. We love you. Just going to say something very brief before we leave. We're going to mix things up a little bit, just so if you've got this far, then we'd really appreciate if you go and check out our Patreon page. And if you would like to support us, then check it out. We are, again, Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10, or anything you'd like. And if you don't want to, then that's totally cool. We are just grateful for, 1, you listening to the show, and 2, getting this far. We are also proud to say we're affiliated with Greenman Gaming, so please go and check them out via the link in the description as well. We will be streaming over the course of this week, as Dav said, so make sure you check us out on Monday for Multiplayer Mondays, or even Sunday for Zach, actually, I should be saying. Maybe he'll do some Flash games.
It's going to be Flash Game Fridays.
Flash Game Fridays, there we are. On Sunday, he's back into Last of Us.
Or Hollow Knight?
We'll see.
I'm done with Hollow Knight, though. Hollow Knight's going to get too frustrating.
Okay. We'll be doing Multiplayer Mondays. I'll jump into Age of Calamity on Tuesday, and we'll get Dav maybe doing a bit of Yakuza on Wednesday and Thursday. But otherwise, that is us. Thank you once again for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you soon. Ahoy!
Ahoy!